Hey, good afternoon. My name is Jimmy Autry, and I'm here to speak for a few minutes about a potential research topic or dissertation topic that I've been working on for the past several weeks in the field of history. The working title of this paper is The Role of Laymen in the Creation of the Anglican Catholic Church. And just a bit of background on the Anglican Catholic Church. It's a fairly small body, but it is one of several that make up what is referred to as the continuing Anglican movement. And these bodies have their origins from the Episcopal Church USA. Back in 1977, in response to the previous year's 1976 General Convention of the Episcopal Church, these disgruntled Episcopalians met in St. Louis at the Congress of St. Louis and adopted a stance entitled the Affirmation of St. Louis. And what this document did was that it basically outlined what was going on in the Episcopal Church that they saw as wrong, and then some basically their affirmation to create a continuing movement. They felt that the Episcopalian Church had veered from tradition and veered from what was right, so they saw themselves as continuing traditional Anglicanism. These bodies, including the ACC, which is currently one of the larger bodies of these churches, were mainly distraught with what the Episcopal Church had done in terms of the ordination of women to the priesthood and the alteration of the Book of Common Prayer from 1928. So these two things are what really started the push towards moving away from the Episcopalian Church and over to a new body, or what they saw as a continuing body. As far as the historiography goes for this movement, there's not much. There's been a few articles written. Several articles have appeared in the Episcopal Church's various history journals over the years. Like I said, this church is a little over 40 years old. There's been one major book produced that is a history of the continuing Anglican movement entitled Divided We Stand by a guy named Douglas Bess. While this book is not scholarly in nature, it was self-published. It does do a pretty good job of outlining the rough history, but where I feel that there is a lacking would be in the role of the everyday parishioner in and how this body was created. Bess does a pretty good job of talking about not only the Congress of St. Louis, but then the history up until roughly the mid-90s and how various bishops interacted with each other and who kind of moved their church over into this jurisdiction and split various churches, things of that nature. But what's not really talked about enough, I feel, is the role of laymen in actually creating that original Congress of St. Louis that occurred in September of 1977. There's a lot of different primary sources out there. Various libraries throughout the United States, because this is a mostly American movement, have various pieces of propaganda, as one library calls it. There's actually a continuing Anglican movement file at one research library. So my idea is to go and seek these pieces out. But another big thing that I'm going to need to do is conduct as many oral history interviews as I can. Like I said, being as this jurisdiction is a little over 40 years old, there are still people out there who were at the original meetings who took part. Potentially some leaders are still out there. So I need to be able to get to them, have these conversations, these interviews, and really get down to how laymen assisted the clergy in creating this new body, the Anglican Catholic Church, and the various offshoots. I do feel that this is a pretty important project right now, as the Anglican Catholic Church is currently a member of what is called the G3, or the three larger continuing Anglican bodies that are coming into organic unity right now. And so I think that this would be a good project to not only shed some light on the past, but see how these bodies can interact with each other and potentially move forward. Thank you.